Hello students, today we are going to discuss 3 questions of CSIR 9 2019 December. So our first question is based on finding PDF of new random variable z, that is equals to x plus y. Here question is x and y are independently distributed as exponential, lambda and mu, and this new random variable is generated z equals to x plus y, and for this particular random variable we need to find which of the following one is correct density function. So what we can do for this question in a quick time, if you are not having any click on your mind that how to generate the PDF of that particular random variable, that you can simply do you can simply choose method 1. And what does this method 1 says? Method 1 says then directly find expectation and variance for all of these density function, and for that particular density function for which expectation and variance are equal to expectation of z, this particular z, and equal to variance of this particular z, will be the correct density function of for a random variable. Since x and y are exponential random variables with mean 1 upon lambda, if x has exponentially mean 1 upon lambda, that means x is distributed exponential lambda, and similarly y is distributed as exponential mu. Fine. Remember, range for these x and y is greater than 0. Now finding PDF expectation and variance for the each of these density function without knowing that which one could be the suitable density function is a little bit longer way, but we can adopt it, there is no problem, it is a correct method. There can be a shorter method where you can find the PDF of this z equals to x plus y. And how will we do it? See, you know the transformation method. So let us suppose z equals to x plus y and u equals to this y. Then how can we write it? We can write it like x equals to z minus u and y equals to u. There is no problem of writing. Then the Jacobian transformation is given as lambda x upon lambda z, lambda x upon lambda u, lambda y upon lambda z, and lambda y upon lambda u. Simply. Now lambda x upon lambda z will give us 1, lambda x upon lambda u will give us minus 1, and lambda y upon lambda z will give us 0. And finally this is 1. So the overall value of this Jacobian will be 1. And how joint density function of z of u can be written? How we can write the joint density function of this z and u? It is written as f of xy, which is joint density function of x and y, multiplied by modulus value of this Jacobian. So since Jacobian value is positive 1, there is no need of writing this Jacobian again and again. So we will simply write f of xy, and since x and y are independent, it is given in question, we can write f of x and f of y, because for two independent random variable that the joint density function can be broken into two marginal density function. So f of zu equals to f of x and f of y. Here we are about to writing our PDF. F of x equals to lambda e raised to power minus lambda x and mu e raised to power minus mu y. So here it is lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda x plus mu of y. So till now we have no problem of writing. Now see, lambda x plus mu y can be written in terms of z and u, because finally we need to play with z and u only. So lambda x equals to z minus u, and mu y equals to u. So here lambda z minus lambda u plus mu u. Please don't get confused between mu and u, because my handwriting is little bit confusing. Lambda z minus, taking minus u common, we will get lambda minus mu, and finally the value of lambda x plus mu y we can put again in this f of zu. So f of zu will be, f of zu can be written as lambda mu e raised to power, since a minus is implied here, we will, the resultant will be e raised to power minus lambda z, and again e raised to power u lambda minus mu. This is how we can write the joint density function of z and u. And if we want to get density function of this particular z, that is already asked to us, that we need to find this particular density function. See, f of z, that is marginal density function of this particular variable z, it can be found as f of z equals to f of zu, and integrating with respect to u, and here we will put a limit of this particular random variable u. So the problem is how we will find the limit of this u. Hence, see, we know that 0, your x variable is lying between 0 and infinity. Fine. And x is written as z minus u less than infinity. So how can we write it? We can write it like 0 z minus u, and then we can write u is less than z. And since your u is nothing but variable y, we can see here this is nothing but variable y, then u can never be less than 0. It is always greater than 0. So your u lies between 0 and z. So finally what we will write? We will write it like 0 to z f of z u du. Since we are integrating with respect to u, the terms lambda u e raised to power minus lambda z are irrelevant. So we will take them those terms out of the integral. Lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda z, 0 to z e raised to power minus u lambda minus mu, it is positive u lambda minus mu du. So integration will be lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda z, and the integration 0 to z e raised to power u lambda minus mu lambda u. So we will get e raised to power minus lambda z, e raised to power minus, sorry, it will be u lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda z, e raised to power u lambda minus mu upon lambda minus mu 0 to z, and lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda z, and the constant will be out of the bracket, lambda minus mu. When you will put z in place of u, you will get e raised to power minus z lambda minus mu, and then If u is replaced by 0, then final value will be equal to 1. Then lambda mu e raised to power minus lambda z upon lambda minus mu, and finally it is multiplied by let us write it directly, we don't need to calculate that much. Lambda minus mu. When e raised to power minus lambda z is multiplied by this term, we will get e raised to power minus z mu, and here e raised to power minus lambda z. So this is, and what is the range of z? Let us think about what should be the range of z. Z is what? X plus y. X is going from 0 to infinity and y is going from 0 to infinity. So directly we can think about that z is greater than 0. Although the range of z is given already, but we should know how it came. So finally the density has been come to lambda minus mu e raised to power minus lambda mu z mu e raised to power minus lambda z, where z is greater than 0. So your final answer is option number 3rd. Now we are in front of our second question, which is totally based on concept of independence. Here we are given that x and y are real valued independent random variables. So we already know a property that if x and y are independent, then we can write probability x equals to a, y equals to b, or we can write probability x equals to a intersection y equals to b as probability x equals to a, probability y equals to b. This is a direct result we all gone through a statistic concept. So here x and y are independent, then this result is always true. This result 4th is directly true. Now x equals to a intersection y equals to b equals to 5. Is it correct? I think it is not. Why? See, probability x equals to a intersection y equals to b. So this left hand side is considered as an event in our probability. If we are taking this event and finding its probability, then we can write it as probability x equals to a, probability y equals to b. But what does the right hand side says to us? Probability of phi, probability of an empty event or impossible event, it is always 0. Fine. Then how can this probability is equals to 0? It is only possible when one of or both probabilities are 0, but it will never happen always. Hence this option 3rd is not correct. And option number 2 is very obvious by the property of linear combination of two independent normal random variable, which says that if x is distributed as normal mu1 sigma 1 square and y is distributed as normal mu2 sigma 2 square, then x plus y is distributed. Remember that here x and y are independent. Then x plus y is written as normal mu1 plus mu2 sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square. Now get back to the first option. Here you will check by this property that option number 2 is already correct. This option number 2 is correct. Fine. Now the final option we need to check is option number 1, which says that expectation of cos dx plus uy equals to expectation of cos dx plus expectation of cos ux, expectation of sin dx, and this. Fine. So here we need to go through some results. And what are those results? Let us write them first. Your first result is if n x and y are independent, then expectation of xy is always expectation of x and expectation of y. Fine. And cos a plus b equals to cos a cos b minus cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Now using both of these property, we can easily prove the option number 1. And how we will prove that? First of all, we need to prove that random variable cos tx and cos uy both are independent. How we will prove that these both are independent? See, let us write g cos tx plus cos uy as distribution function of cos tx and cos uy. It is joint distribution function of random variable cos tx and cos uy. It is clear? Then we can write it as probability cos tx is less than some point a and probability cos uy. Am I writing it right? Yes, this is correct. So cos tx cos uy cos uy is less than some point b. Now we can write it as x is less than equals to 1 upon t cos inverse a. Since a is any value which is lying between -1 and 1, a and b both are any value that is lying between a and b. And why we are -1 and 1, and why we are taking a and b between -1 and 1? Because these are the values of the random variable cos tx and cos uy. If we may take a value of ab out of range -1 and 1 too, but the probability of getting values of cos tx and cos uy out of the region -1 and 1 is worthless. So cos tx and cos uy random variables are defined only in the range -1 and y. That is why we are only taking the region -1 1. So finally we can imply an inverse function like that: x less than equals to 1 upon t cos inverse a and y is equals to 1 upon u cos inverse b. This inverse function is authentically defined because range is given -1 to 1, and over -1 and 1 the cos function always have an pre-image. Finally, if we take this function as a single numeric value, this term as single numeric value and the other term as single numeric value, then we can see this term like probability x is less than c1, y is less than equals to c2. And if this probability is written as probability x is less than c1 and y is less than equals to c2, and if x and y are independent too, then probability x less than c1, or rather we write x is less than 1 upon t cos inverse a probability y is less than 1 upon u cos inverse b. Fine. And after rearranging the terms, we can see probability x cos tx is less than a probability cos uy is less than equals to b. So finally see that we wrote x probability cos 2x less than equals to a, cos uy less than equals to b as individual probabilities. That means cos tx and cos uy are independent. Then so after getting cos tx and cos uy independent, we can get back to our question. If cos tx and cos uy are independent, let expectation of cos tx plus uy. Fine. Now use this formula, cos a plus b equals to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. What can we write? We can write cos tx cos uy minus sin tx sin uy. And we already know that cos tx and cos uy are independent, and similarly we can prove sin tx and sin uy are independent. Then expectation of cos tx, expectation of cos uy minus expectation of sin tx and expectation of sin uy. We only used these two results. First we implied that cos a plus b equals to this, and then as we proved cos tx and cos uy and sin tx sin uy are independent, then we implied the first result, this result, and then we option number 1, finally option number 1 is correct. So our last question is based on inference part.